Make up your mind now. Or do you want your relatives to make up your mind, to make a decision for you? Are conditions going to force you, or circumstances? Pray and claim that an infinite intelligence is guiding you now. Accept a guiding principle within you. Claim right action. There's a principle of guidance within you. It's just the same as if it were not there, except you use it. And the first intuitive impulse that comes to you is usually the right answer. You're told in the Bible that Peter went down to the lake. He cast a line, and he was told, take up the first fish up, look in the mouth, and take the coin. Pay the tax for thee and for me. What does it mean? I am the great fish that swimmeth in the deep. That's your subconscious mind, where all fish or ideas are. That's where the scientist gets his answer, the archaeologist, the paleontologist, the physician. The answer comes out of the depths. You fish an answer out for anything you want in life. And therefore that pays your tax, doesn't it? The engineer is taxed for patience. He's taxed for his knowledge of engineering. The chemist is taxed. The doctor is taxed if he has a 6-hour operation, his ingenuity, his skill, his knowledge, his faith, his confidence. You're taxed for your love at times too, aren't you? And therefore you have to come to a decision. You're taxed, and when you come to a decision, you paid your tax. You paid your tax. And then you do away with frustration and confusion and anger and misery. Say, take the first fish up, you see, and open the mouth, and the coin is there. Well, of course, you don't take that literally, but it's a marvelous way of realizing an answer to your prayer. When you pray for guidance and you want to make a decision, you say, infinite intelligence is guiding me. There's right action in my life. There's an overshadowing presence in which I live and move and have my being. It opens up the door for me. I follow the lead which comes to me clearly. I turn it over now to the deeper mind, and I go on about my business. Then the first thought that comes to you, the first idea, the first thing that wells up within you, that's your answer. It comes out of the depths of yourself. It's the first fish up. You don't argue with it. Don't talk to your relatives about it. If you do, you'll have 20 thoughts all of a sudden in your mind. It's that inner sense of touch, that inner silent knowing of the soul. So it's the first fish up. Sometimes when you go to sleep at night, try this. Say, infinite intelligence reveals to me the answer, reveals the right decision for me. When I awaken, the first thought I have in the morning will be the answer. Then what's the first thought you have in the morning? But don't go around pacing the floor and wondering about it. The answer will come to you. You're claiming divine law and order in your life. Claim divine right action in your life. Divine law and order means that the law of harmony, beauty, love, peace, abundance are operating in your subconscious rather than man-made laws, rather than creeds and dogmas and tradition. It also means that you're expressing yourself at your highest level. You're releasing your hidden talents in a wonderful way, consistent with integrity and honesty. It also means that you're receiving marvelous and wonderful compensation. Because if you don't have all the money you need to do when you want all the money you need when you want to use it, it should be there. It should be available. It should be in circulation. When you're able to do what you want to do when you want to do it, you're as rich as Croesus. That's divine law and order. Certainly, if you can't buy your wife a new car if she needs one, that's not divine law and order. There's something frightfully wrong. So you believe in right action. There's a principle of right action. There's no principle of wrong action. So when you hear a person saying, well, maybe I'll do something wrong, why don't you turn around and believe there's a principle of right action, like the wheels in your automobile have to be around. If they're not around, you'll kill yourself. That's right action. Claim that you're under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He's my refuge, my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Isn't that a wonderful prayer for guidance and right action, your 91st Psalm? I dwell in the secret place. That's your own mind where you walk and talk with God. I abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I'll say of the lordly power. He's my refuge, my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. He covers me with His feathers, and under His wings shall you rest. Why then should you worry or be fearful about doing the right thing? No, you're under a guiding principle. And the angels, you're told, will watch over you. Angels are the intelligence and the wisdom, the creative ideas that well up within you. So you're guided to your true place. You're guided to do the right thing, for the highest and the best begins to move through you. Put God first in your life, and God is the supreme intelligence which started your heartbeat. It governs all the vital organs. It watches over you. It tendencies to heal and to restore. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Choose harmony. Choose right action. And choose beauty. Choose abundance and security in your life. Choose these things, because the higher self is God, and that almighty power will move in your behalf, but you must turn to it. Call upon me, and I will answer you. Decide with your mind, not with your emotions. Here's a man got mad at the boss, you know. Oh, yes, he's full of bitterness, hostility, so he says he told the boss off, and he quit in a huff. He took another job, and he said to me, I have more problems in this job than I had in the previous job. You see, he made a decision on the basis of anger, resentment, hostility, his emotions. He was carried away by his emotions. No, you make decisions based upon true judgment, based upon wisdom and understanding. Reason the thing out. Study the pros and cons, and be rational and reasonable. So he realized his decision was wrong. And make a decision on the basis of factual rationality. Reason the thing out. Does it seem reasonable, logical to you? Assemble the facts together. Get all the data you can. And try and solve it objectively, which is what you should do. Use no mental coercion, no force. Don't grit your teeth and clench your fist. Don't say I must get an answer at a certain time, or the judge must give me a decision on the 15th of April. That's nonsense. Do everything you can objectively, quietly, and with faith and with confidence. If no clear answer is indicated, well, you feel good about it, and the situation looks good to you, the investment or whatever it is, go ahead and do it. Always remember, if your motivation is right, and you're praying for guidance and right action, and something looks good to you, go ahead. Say it's God in action, pronounce it good. Why should you hesitate? Why should you vacillate and waver? Why become a neurotic? Why become frustrated? Come to a decision. Come to a decision quickly. The clear impression that comes to you when someone calls you on the phone and says, I must have an answer now, I'm on the phone. And you have been praying about it and thinking about it, whatever you say will be right. Empty out all preconceived notions. A man said to me one time, do you think I've arrived at the right decision? Well, I said to him, is it based upon the golden rule and the law of love? And then he got red in the face. Well, I said, you answered your own question. If your decision is to take advantage of someone, pull the wool over somebody's eyes, or cheat him, or so forth, whatever decision you'd arrive in such a case would be wrong, because to hurt the other is to hurt yourself. So is your decision based upon the golden rule and the law of love. Love is wishing for everyone what you wish for yourself. When you love another, you love to see the other become and express all they long to become and express. There are women, I talk to women 40 and 50 years of age, mother made all decisions for them. When you allow that, you're robbing yourself of your own initiative, your own experience, your own divinity, because the God presence is within you. I said ye are gods, and all of you are sons of the Most High. So you're here to choose, to come to a decision, to mold and fashion your own destiny. Learn to make decisions. Start now. After you're 7 or 8 years of age, you should begin to learn to make decisions to some degree, with supervision, of course. But when you're 18 years of age, you should certainly make your own decisions and move out of home and establish your own apartment, roll up your sleeves and get busy. Learn to make decisions, yes, and exercise your initiative. And one man said, when I'm confused and mixed up a little bit, he said, and I'm sincere and I prayed about it, and sometimes I flip a coin. But he said, I know that any kind of action is better than inaction, so I come to a decision. If you're going on the road to San Francisco and you're on the wrong road, and some man stops you and he said, turn to the right, that's the right road. You found out you were wrong. Now you're right, aren't you? You're on the right road. So what? You made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. When you went to school, didn't you make hundreds of them? That's why you had a rubber on the end of your pencil, you know. Everybody, including mother and father, knew you'd make mistakes. So as you continue to make decisions, you have a new zest and a new thrill. Things are not in the saddle. Circumstances can't create circumstances. Conditions are not creative. There are no powers outside you. You don't give power to create a thing. You do not give power to the phenomenalistic world. You give power to the Creator, and that's the supreme intelligence within you. Avoid indecisiveness, which attends much religious prayer. People say, is it right for me to pray for wealth? How absurd, how ridiculous. Is it right for me to pray for success? Maybe God doesn't want me to succeed. That is stupidity. It is jungle philosophy. It is too stupid for words. Does God want me to sing? Well, if God gave you a voice, He wants you to sing. The singing capacity is within you. If you're able to sing and that quality is within you, go ahead and sing. You don't wait for God to sing. God will sing through you. But God is the only presence and power. You have the desire to paint, go ahead and paint. If you love animals and all that, or if you'd love to be a chemist or something, or a musician, go ahead and follow the lead which comes to you. People say, is it right that I should pray for a car? What is a car? An idea in the mind of God. That's all a car is. It's the Spirit of God made manifest. It's God outside your door taking the form of a car. For there's only God. There's nothing else but God. God is Spirit. And the grass is God too. The clothes you wear is God. God and goods are synonymous. You go into a store and you say goods. Well, what are you talking about? God and good are the same. And the goods are Spirit made manifest. The apple on a tree is Spirit made manifest. There's only Spirit. Everything is made inside and out of it. The material world is Spirit made manifest. So everything you touch is the Spirit made manifest. Such questions as, is it right for me and all that? Is it right, you might as well say, is it right for me to get married? How absurd these things are. They're based on superstition, ignorance, and fear. Such questions as these rob the mind of decision and force. If you pray for guidance, a higher form of prayer, you will overcome your theological concepts, because your higher self will teach you as you go along. The Spirit of truth will lead you to all truth. You say, God is guiding me now. Right action reigns supreme. The Spirit of truth leads me to all truth. You've come to a marvelous decision. Be definite. Have goals. Announce purposes. Your receipts will be offset by your liabilities, as in all business. Your prayers answer to the level of your belief. Your consciousness is what you know consciously and subconsciously. If you pray for prosperity, success, achievement, and victory, and you say, come to a decision, say, prosperity is mine now. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to have all the wealth I need to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Your subconscious will respond. And also the answer will be filtered through your present state of mind. Raise your sights, and you'll go where your vision is. You know, a merchant in the Far East, they do that, Egypt and other places. They set the price very high. The tourist comes in, he's supposed to bargain. They'll come down, there'll be several markdowns. They'll still make a profit. Well, now, negative beliefs in your mind, if you're praying for prosperity and success and achievement, and you're jealous of others, or their promotion, or the 6 cars he has in the garage, or the $1 million that he has, then that negation, that resentment, that envy, that jealousy blocks your good and inhibits your growth and, of course, interferes with your prosperity. It's like Frederick the Great, he collected a lot of money, at least his agents did, and he said, what happens to all the money we collect? So it was a hot day, and his members of his cabinet were around the table. There was a bowl of ice there and some water with some ice in it. One man took up a little piece of the ice and passed it around men's hands. When it got to the king, It was a very small piece. He said, that, sire, is the answer. All right. So if you are down on yourself, or you're jealous or envious of others, you are inhibiting the flow of that infinite ocean of riches through you. And therefore wish for everyone what you wish for yourself. For love is the fulfilling of the law. And love is goodwill, wishing for everything what you wish for yourself. Negatives of the mind, regrets, remorse, hate, peeves, grudges. Looking to externals, giving power to people and conditions and circumstances. They all cut down on the riches of the infinite. Give all your allegiance and devotion. Let your expectation be from him who giveth to all life, breath, and all things. Get it straight. Come to that decision. Look to the source. Then, as you do that, come to the decision. So from the depths of my heart, I wish for every person in the world the riches of the infinite, health and happiness and peace and all the blessings of life. Then watch the flow of vitality and riches to you. This is what holds so many people back, because they're down on themselves, they're full of remorse and peeves and grudges and all that sort of thing, and they don't even get a healing with that attitude of mind. They don't prosper either. Real success is spiritual development, you see. So stop carping criticism, because that cuts down on the quality of good you receive. Exalt God in the midst of you, mighty to heal. Yes, there is the boy, you know. When he's young, he sees a bottle of milk and he steals it. And from there he goes on, stealing other things, apples and all that. And then the sum total of his choices land him in jail. So the reason the man is in the pen or he's in jail, that's the sum total of his choices. That's all we are. But that's an illogical decision to steal the bottle of milk, because it induces fear. He says the policeman isn't looking, so fear, apprehension. Also, he's impoverishing himself and attracting lack and limitation to himself. Whenever you make a decision, remember the power of the Almighty backs it up, whether it's false or whether it is good. If you see a illogical decision, like the boy stealing a bottle of milk, we're simply using the power of the infinite against ourselves. There is the power of reason within you. There's the principle of life, knows how to protect itself. It's within you. It heals a cut on your finger. It wakes you up. If you say, I want to wake up at 3 in the morning, it wakes you up, whether there's a clock in the room or not, or whether there's a storm or the clock has stopped. So there's an intelligence within you that governs all your vital organs, your breathing and all that. It seeks to heal and to restore you. The infinite cannot punish you. Life cannot punish. The absolute cannot punish. The law doesn't punish. Man punishes himself by his negative destructive thinking, by his misuse of law. A good judge doesn't punish. He just invokes the law. So cease making illogical decisions. Learn the simple truth. I said ye are gods, and all of you are sons of the Most High, and that you are the temple of the living God, and the kingdom of God is within you. Therefore, the infinite wisdom and the infinite power is within you. And if you were God, what decision would you make? You'd make a decision on right action, on harmony, and peace, and love, and goodwill, wouldn't you? You would begin to think and speak and act from the standpoint of the infinite center, from the infinite power. You wouldn't make any decisions from the standpoint of some old theologian, or what your grandmother said, or something of that nature. You'd say, there's a guiding principle within me, and I'm going to make decisions according to that guiding principle, which is absolute harmony and absolute peace. So I said, ye are gods, yes, and all of you are sons of the Most High. So that God presence is within you, boundless wisdom, infinite intelligence. So stop denying your divinity. Your grandmother doesn't know best. And when you want to get married, come to a decision and say, infinite intelligence attracts to me the right person, man or woman, who harmonizes with me in every way. The deeper currents of my mind bring both of us together. And trust the infinite intelligence, and don't ask your mother or your grandmother whether you should marry the man or the woman, because then you're denying your own divinity. You're saying, look, I can choose, which of course you can. That's your prerogative. There's the person says, if God had wanted me to be well, he'd heal me. This, of course, is a sort of blasphemy. For the tendency of life is to heal and to restore. When you burn yourself, it proceeds to reduce the edema and gives you new skin and tissue. When you cut yourself, it forms thrombin and builds a bridge across the cut and seeks to heal you, kills the germs when they invade your body too. So there's one mind common to all individual men, as Emerson said, and you're here to make choices. And you're an organ of God. God had need of you where you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And therefore, you're here to reproduce all that's true of the infinite. So you can make decisions that are normal, rational, logical, and reasonable. Therefore, the tendency of life, the will of God for you, is a greater measure of life, love, truth, and beauty. So it's foolish and superstition, rank superstition, to say if God wanted to heal me, he would heal me. That's blasphemy, because you're telling a lie about the infinite. You're lying about the infinite being. I have seen men and women live together in hate and resentment for many years rather than get a divorce. They said they were thinking in terms of the children. Well, the children grow up in the image and the likeness of the dominant mental and emotional climate of the home. The children became delinquents, were sick all the time, because the atmosphere of the home was hatred, resentment, hostility, and rage. It's a frightful way to live. Come to a decision. Realize it's far more decent, honorable, and godlike to break up a lie than live a lie. It's a frightful thing to do, to live a lie and contaminate the minds of all those around you. At least you have respect for the woman who got a divorce, much more so than the woman who's living a lie for 20 and 25 years. There are people fearful to make a decision, sometimes because of religious, sometimes because of political and financial reasons. And some of them would rather get cancer, tuberculosis, and arthritis than break up a lie. Many people decide every day to do something about it, but they do nothing at all about it. All the power of life is within you now, enabling you to make your decision right now. It's illogical to live a lie. Then I have seen people come to a logical decision. They said, I will arise and go to my father. They say, I will not live this way anymore. It takes two to make a go of marriage or make a business prosperous. If two men are in business and one is drunk all the time, insulting the customers, the house is divided and certainly they're going to go broke. The thing for them to do is dissolve the partnership and bless each other and go on about their business and make a decision to lead a full and happy life. But it's wrong to live that way. If the two agree to do the right thing and practice the golden rule and the law of love, that's a different thing. Do what you're supposed to do. You're equipped to do it. There's a guiding principle within you. God wants you to be happy. You're here to reproduce all that's true of God. You're here to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. That should be your decision. Your decision should be to lead a full and happy life. God gave you richly all things to enjoy. God made you rich, why then are you poor? I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Heretofore you asked for nothing. Now ask that your joy might be full. And in Him there is fullness of joy. In Him there is no darkness at all. The power of life is there. There is no such thing, as I said before, as indecision. There is only decision. So a person who decides not to decide, then, the mass mind makes a decision for you and your life will be a mess. For that mass mind believes in tragedies and difficulties and chaos and misfortune of all kinds. Most of it is highly negative. Surely you don't want that movie into your mind. If you do not come to a decision every morning to charge your mental and spiritual batteries with godlike truths, who then will do your thinking for you? Who will govern your emotions? Who will govern your mood? Who's choosing your emotions? Yes, the power and the wisdom of the infinite is within you, and you're here to use it. Come to the waters and drink. He that hath no money, yea, let him come. Buy wine and milk without money, without price, and the price is belief, is recognition. It's assumption. Assume there's an almighty power, and your assumptions, as Churchill said, harden into facts. If you're up in the mountain and you're fishing, and you lost your way, for example, in the mountain stream, and you see an old man of the woods, and you say, how can I get back to the main road? And he tells you exactly how to go. You follow him. You find he's right. You assumed what he said is right, and it hardened into a fact, didn't it? Likewise, assume there's an infinite intelligence within you. It started your heartbeat, grows hair on your face, digests your food. It watches over your sound asleep. It wakes you up if you suggest a particular time as you go to sleep. If you're seeking an answer to an investment and say infinite intelligence reveals to me the answer about this investment, it seeks to heal you. You may wake up in the morning and you have a persistent feeling not to touch it. That's the voice of the divine answering you. Don't touch it. I talk to women, I've talked to hundreds of them. They said, I knew as I was walking up the aisle to marry that man, I shouldn't have done it. You see, that lingering feeling that you have within you, sort of a hunch, a predominant feeling, the life principle seeking to protect them, and they ignored it. They rejected it. And of course they had to get a divorce. Follow that thing when you come. It's that inner sense of touch. Well, like the man prayed about an investment recently in Nevada. And he said, infinite intelligence is guiding me, reveals to me and to my wife the right thing to do regarding this investment in Nevada. All right, he came to a decision that there was a guiding principle. There's no if, there's no but, there's no and. And then according to that decision was done unto him. He had a dream in the middle of the night where he saw these men in prison garb around them, and a guard with a gun at the door. He woke up and he knew he was dealing with con men who had served time. And had he invested, he would have lost everything. Yes, but you have to come to a decision that there is a guiding principle within you. And wonders then will happen in your life. When you have what you term a difficult decision to make, or when you fail to see the solution to your problem, begin at once to think constructively about it. If you're fearful and worried, you're not really thinking. True thinking is free from fear. Quiet the mind, still the body. Tell your body to relax, it has to obey you. Your body has no volition, initiative, or self-conscious intelligence. Your body is an emotional disk, which records your beliefs and impressions. Mobilize your attention. Focus your thought on the solution to your problem. Try to solve it like a detective does with your conscious mind. Think how happy you would be about the perfect solution. Get all the information you can. Sense the feeling you would have if the perfect answer were yours now. Let your mind play with this mood in a relaxed way. And if you're going to sleep, then drop off to sleep, contemplating the answer. When you awaken and you do not have the answer, get busy about something else. Probably, when you are preoccupied with something else, the answer will come into your mind, like toast pops out of a toaster. In receiving guidance from your subconscious mind, the simple way is the best. A man lost a valuable ring, which was an heirloom. He looked everywhere for it and could not locate it. At night he talked to the subconscious in the same manner that I'm talking to you. He said to it prior to dropping off to sleep. He's talking to his higher self. He came to a decision that there's nothing lost in the infinite. He said to his higher self, you know all things, you're all wise, you're omnipresent. You know where that ring is, and you are now revealing to me where it is. That's called prayer. That's coming to a decision. That's not mumbo-jumbo. In the morning he awoke suddenly with the words ringing in his ear. Ask Robert. Well, Robert happened to be his son. And he asked Robert about it. And he said, oh yes, I picked it up in the yard while I was playing with the boys. I placed it on the desk in my room. I did not think it worth anything, so I didn't say anything about it. It only knows the answer. When you call upon it, it'll answer you, it'll be with you in trouble. It will set you on high because you have known its name. And in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. It is written, he careth for you. God knows only the answer.